Hey everybody, this is Russell, your co-host.
And Alexa.
And we are excited to bring you another episode number 4. There was a lot of things.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep,
four. Number 4. Cuatro.
Yes, cuatro. And we are excited because there was a lot of things that we did this past week. And it was the 4th of July week. There was a lot of things that were happening, and we're just really, really excited.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to share all the things that we did.
Yeah, some of the topics that we're covering today are the movie that we watched this past week, the 4th of July. We went actually to Coney Island as well.
Which is a small island.
Yeah, which was amazing. Coney Island was not an island, actually. It was just the beach area.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and then...
We'll give you more information once we get to that section.
And then we'll do an update on sports. There was a lot of things that happened in sports this past week as well, and stories
always, stories at a glance and gratitude challenge.
The gratitude challenge. So let's start off with our first topic.
Turn the page.
Yeah, exactly. Let's turn the page. So we kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that we like to do. Do you want to start off?
Yeah. Okay. Some of my hobbies, my current hobbies, are going out. I just like to walk around the block, or I don't know. It feels nice just to be able to get some of the sun, and always that you get out of your home or things like that. It just kind of helps you a little more. I also like to watch movies. I like romantic comedy type of movies. Like that's my genre forever. But I think it's always good to have like different things that you like, different than that.
Yeah.
I like also to watch sports like soccer. I like to play with animals. How about you?
Yeah, some things. As you know in the previous episodes, I love video games, so I love to play video games. That's a big stress reliever because you can just kind of go into this fantasy world and just play and just have fun. I love some of the storylines of some of the video games as well. I also like to walk outside and enjoy the sun while it's not too hot. If it's too hot, then I'm just like, okay, it's too hot for me.
I am the one that is implementing that.
Yeah. And I play sports as well. I used to play basketball a lot. I need to get back into that. Especially during this weather. I also like to do hiking as well. I've done hiking in the past. We went to Metro North, upstate New York, and there's a lot of hiking paths up there as well. So I want to do a little bit more of that during the summer too.
I used to do hiking before, but like back in the days, it wasn't called hiking. It was just like you go for a walk.
You just go for a walk? Okay.
So it's getting more technical nowadays, but I'm sure everyone has done hiking. Like we all have gone like to a forest or a mountain, in a field trip of your school, or
that's true
we
too.
have all done that. So don't feel intimidated by the name, just go out and have some fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places that we can hike here, or just walk in general. Mm-hmm. So there's like a lot of places that you can go.
Do you play basketball currently?
Basketball I want to get back into. I used to play basketball all the time. I used to play sometimes I used to play like 4 or 5 hours, just for fun, and I enjoy it. It's a good exercise. You get to meet random strangers, and they just have fun. And I want to get back into that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I used to play basketball too. I know it's a little random, but I actually played basketball in high school for 2 years, I think.
Nice.
For a year, and then in college I played for 2 years. But I mean, I'm not a really good basketball player, but I thought I was. And my dad thought I was. So yeah, I like, I think I don't, like, I wasn't really like appealed, but just the game itself, but it was just more of the fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
like I wasn't like, whoa, I'm in the basketball team. I was just like, it's fun. So I think that's the most important thing when you're doing something you enjoy. That is just something fun, even if it's running or just taking your hamster for a walk. As long as you have some type of fun, that's all you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exercise well, and I also like watching movies. We used to, like I said, we watch movies at least 2 or 3 times a month.
I think when I came across Russell, I was introduced to more movies, because before I would just watch like The Notebook, Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
Classics.
corny stuff. But after I met him, I can't expand my mind around that, and it was great. I learned so much more. So if you want to ask me if you have actually any suggestions of any movies, you can let us know as well.
Yeah, I was actually telling her, since we do watch around 2 to 3 movies a month or 2 months, there's actually this app that I found, and it's been going on for a while, but I didn't realize about it. It was Movie Pass, and we are not sponsored by them, by the way. I'm just talking about it.
But if you want to sponsor us,
if you want to
please give us a call.
Yeah,
Gmail.
Definitely. It basically, their lowest plan is like $8
per
month, and you get to watch 3 movies during that month.
That's
and
good.
That's amazing, because the movie theaters in New York City are quite expensive. The cheapest one, if you go to Williamsburg, is $12.
Which is in Brooklyn.
Which is in Brooklyn, is $12 a movie. And that's, if we sign up for Movie Pass, we're already saving money, because it's $8 a month. So probably I have to look into that. So I think that's a pretty cool deal.
Especially for people that really enjoy movies, I do not have like any type of movies that I'm like dying to watch. But it's also kind of nice to, let yourself dive into like new waters, watching movies, and, you might get, surprised. Just like when I watched Black Panther, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and when the movie ended, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And now Black Panther forever.
You mean Wakanda forever?
Yeah. Or whatever. So.
Yeah, no, I think that was. And speaking of that, we wanted to talk about a movie that we did watch this past week, and that was Incredibles 2. So we kind of wanted to give our little mini review. If we start watching more movies, we wanted to give a mini review on our podcast on how we enjoyed it, what we kind of rate it, and then what was the kind of the pros and cons about the movie that we watched. So you want to start it off? Because you have more positive views about the movie than I had. I
mean, personally, as I'm not a movie technical type of person, like I don't give us harsh reviews, because maybe I'm not as knowledgeable, and I'm like, yay, it was cute, and so sometimes I like that of me, because if you go too hard on everything, it's kind of, there's not such thing, there's no space to grow, or just we just have like negative stuff to say. So on my side, like I really like the family dynamic that the movie portrayed, because it's usually the mom that stays at home with the kids while the dad is at work, especially when they don't have any type of people, babysitters or things like that. That's how it usually is. So in the movie, basically the dad actually there was like a role reversal of the parents' role. And I really like that. And yeah, I like that too. And I like the baby's superpowers, that they were just like discovering the superpowers of Jack.
So those are the pros of
that. I like the family dynamic. And I also like the family getting together is actually stronger than each of them as individuals, as superheroes.
How about the story? What do you think? What did you think about the story?
Like, how do you rate? Like, how do you assess the story?
No, I mean, was
Because
basically
it's hard
was
for
it?
me, you know.
No,
I don't
for
know
you, does it?
I don't have any reference.
No, it doesn't have to
assess.
be a reference, but like, did you
I
enjoy
like
the
it.
story?
Yes, I like it. First of all, I like it too because the bad guy. How do you say?
The villain.
The villain.
Yeah.
Sorry, the villain was a girl too.
Yeah.
And that's not very often what cinemas portrays in movies portray. It's usually a man. You know, so I think it was very. It kind of show a little more of the woman, you know, side. You know, could be either good or bad.
Yeah.
I like that as well.
Okay.
I didn't like that the Jack didn't really use his powers. I thought he was gonna use his powers at some point, but he actually didn't. So I was a little disappointed because I wanted to see him in action. You know.
Right.
Of
Well, I mean, it
course
was very limited. They used the powers. Yeah.
I mean, yes, he was at home, you know, playing with the little squirrel, I believe.
Yeah. I think I think it was raccoon actually.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those. One of the animals. I can't remember.
I think it's raccoon actually.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, we don't want to give you any spoilers, but yeah, that's.
Yeah. So out of 10, what would you? Or actually, before that, what were there some of the stories besides Jack using his powers? Was there anything else you didn't like about the movie, or was that about it?
That's it for now.
That's it for now. Okay. So out of let's say 10.
But I feel I'm not qualified enough to review that movie.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be
because I don't know, you know, how to assess the story line.
No, it's just like just from your point of view, like how you can base it on other types of movies that are like that are like similar.
Okay.
Like how would you rate that?
8 out of 10.
Okay, 8 out of 10. Cool. I think it's good. Nice. Okay, so for me, I'm actually quite a bit more negative on the movie. To give you a preview, I really loved the first Incredibles. I thought the first Incredibles was such an amazing movie.
In 2004,
yeah,
I believe. So that's 14 years ago.
Yeah, so a while back ago, and
it was
when we were younger. I really enjoyed the movie. I loved the family dynamic. I loved the villain. I thought he was pretty cool.
What was the name
I loved
of the
storyline.
I don't remember.
I don't remember the exact name of the villain. I'll probably have to look it up. But I just love like how they're on an island as well, and how like they fought, and I just love that dynamic quite a bit more. So when I was going into Incredibles 2. I was thinking, I think I was putting too much pressure on myself to think of like this is going to be even better movie, you know, because Incredibles 2, you know, you get to find out why, you know, how Jack got his powers, all of that stuff, and I thought it would be more of like that, and I thought, you know, so when I was going into this movie, I thought it was going to be an amazing movie. I was actually really bored. Like a lot of times throughout the entire maybe like first half and just through like small pockets of the movie, I thought it was very boring. I was sitting there and I'm just like, this is kind of boring. And I usually, like I said, I don't usually, you know, like I usually enjoy movies. I'm not very critical of them, but I thought a lot of times throughout the movie it was boring. There was very slow parts of the movie. In the beginning, when they were fighting the first villain, he got away. And there was no repercussions. He just got away. Basically, the one that stole all the money in the very beginning, and then he just left. And then that was like the plot of of this movie was that, you know, the superheroes were causing all this damage, you know, and then, you know, the media was, you know, showing that they're causing all this damage, and so they made it illegal. I thought that was kind of stupid. I don't know. I thought that was a very stupid plot line.
I actually think it was great.
You think so? Was?
Yeah.
Which part?
That part of superheroes being illegal.
Because they step their boundaries, or like they cause too much damage?
Yeah, because, you know, at the end of the day, some of the times it's not always successful. You know, sometimes the villains just run away.
Right, but why does that make it illegal? Why would they make it illegal?
Well,
just
there has to be certain boundaries, so the superheroes are not always like out there, you know,
but they made it outright illegal, so they couldn't even do anything. If they were like maybe ban some things, or if they like limited their powers, right? Say like, hey, you need to do that, you need to do this, but outright ban it, they can't do anything afterwards. So that's why I was kind of like, eh. And then I do like the part where there was a reversal role where the husband stayed at home, and the wife did the superhero job as well. I did like that part. I did like Jack. I think Jack was the highlight of the movie. I thought it was like he was it was funny every scene that he was in was pretty funny, and so I really liked that part. But other than that, the villain I don't like. And I thought it was very, very predictable on who the villain was. I knew it was the girl to begin with. Yeah,
no,
I knew it. I
didn't know. I thought it was actually the brother.
You thought it was going to be the brother?
Yes. We're trying to see what was his name on the movie. It's actually Winston. Deaver, I believe. How you pronounce this?
Yeah, just Winston.
Winston. I thought he was the bad one because he was just such a good... And, the person that does his voice has been in...
Yes.
You better
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, yeah.
Which is Bob something.
Yeah, so I remember that. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the extra superheroes. I thought they were all very corny.
Okay.
Like,
a little lame.
Right,
like,
yeah, they were a little lame.
What's your power?
Yeah, and like...
I can make things purple.
They didn't have any personality either. So, like... We didn't get to follow any of their storylines to make them more personable. So, like, I thought they were just a throwaway. Like, they're in there for a little while, and then they got controlled with the I don't want to spoil that plot line, but, like, it was just, they were just throwaway superheroes. And I was just like, wow. I didn't think that was... I didn't think that was that entertaining. So
the thing is that most of the superheroes that people know are, the normal ones, like Superman, all of those, but maybe there's like actually a larger community of superheroes.
Right.
So this was maybe why this was such a relevant issue, because there's not only a couple of them, but there are many of them. Yeah. But only a few of them get enough relevance.
Right.
And this is why they were trying to advocate for all of them to be able to do, to be superheroes. Yeah. And I wanted to also stress on the part that you said that you like the role reversal.
Yeah.
When the Mr. Incredible stay at home.
Yeah. I
think that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a out of the box type of thinking, because it's usually I know that I have said this enough, but I really like that, especially when I think the little boy
when they're doing the math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That was funny.
That was not funny. Like that's how it's really, parents out there, feel like, when I remember when I had to even help my little brother. Yeah. He's like much younger than me. Like he would ask me for help, even in math, and I didn't know how to do it. Yeah. And math hasn't really changed. Just like but it was funny the way he approached it, and after he stayed up all night and did all the things like excellent. Yeah, no, that's that. No, the funny part was just like, he was like, math is math. How do they change math? That was kind of like when I was helping with my brothers on math. I would get kind of angry too. I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. Same thing with my mom when she would, help the kids out. She's like, this is how you do it. This is how you're supposed to do it. Type of thing. So I thought that was funny. But what'd you think of like how he was kind of jealous all the time of of his wife? Of taking the role. Oh yeah. What'd you think? I mean, I think that's how any person will feel if their significant other is earning not only money but also the attention, all the attention, especially for a man like Mr. Incredible. I think he's such a macho man figure. Yeah. Of course he felt threatened. Yeah. That I'm sure all his friends were just like out working and he had to stay at home with the kids. Yeah. He felt like, how come she can do it better if this is strong and and big figure. Yeah. why wouldn't I be able to do it?
Right.
But that's where I feel that this kind of gives women another platform to, hey, yes, you're not that strong and muscly, but women, we also have a lot of stuff that we can use to our advantage.
Right. Right.
And I like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So for me overall, I probably would give it a 6
out of 10.
Like I said, overall, I like some of the things. The graphics were amazing. The sound was amazing. The music as well. I thought that was all really top notch. But I felt like they could have done a better story. So my hope for Incredibles 3, because I feel like there will be one, is like to make a better villain.
Yeah, hopefully not in 14 years.
Yeah, hopefully not in 14 years, but hopefully a better villain and hopefully a better storyline. And finally, they kind of got rid of like I feel like this was kind of just like a filler number 2, instead of just like a good sequel. So, unfortunately, this was my most disappointing movie so far that we've seen in 2018. But it's still overall not a bad movie. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. So, go take your kids if you want to go watch the movie. Alexa really recommends it. For me, I would still recommend watching it if you enjoy, Pixar movies.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, definitely. So we also wanted to talk about the short, the movie short that was in the beginning as well, which I really enjoyed. I actually really liked that, which was called Bao, B-A-O. And,
which is actually a Chinese translation for steam, like bread or something. So that's Chinese.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really touching. It was kind of a storyline. I was reading a little bit more about it, and it was just kind of a universal story, but it was told by, the director in a really cool way about just like families, specifically the mom, like growing up, seeing their children grow up and not wanting to let them go. But at the end that they had to...
Why don't you tell them first what's this movie? Like, what is this short film? Because I'm sure if they haven't watched Incredibles 2, they haven't been able to watch.
Yeah, so I was telling you the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so basically it was about... the overall arching story is about, seeing your kids grow up and not wanting to let them go, but in the end having to let them go. So it was basically... the mom and dad, they're eating... And, the mom was making their favorite meal, and then the dad left probably to go to work, and the mom was there, and then there was like one bun left, and then it turned into a baby. And then it just...
it was so cute.
Yeah, it was very, very cute. And the baby, there was like, it was just like funny things around like what the baby was doing, and it was growing up to be a kid, and then grew up to be a teenager. So as as you can see, like visually, that what every kid grows up to be, wanting to play sports, wanting to hang out with their friends, and then the mom being as protective as possible, like, no, you can't do that, or no, you shouldn't do that, which every protective parent wants to do. They want to make sure that the kid grows up to be, as good as possible. And and then the kid was dating, and then the kid left, and then I don't want to spoil everything, but go watch the movie. You'll see the short, and like I said, the basic overarching story is watching these kids grow up and not wanting them to leave. It was just very touching, and I thought it was very cute.
I think even though she told like her personal story, as she grew up with her mom, I felt that actually, resonated with, other people as well, like me.
Right.
Because I think that's something normal that every person, comes across about, when is the time that you leave your home, whether because you move to another city, to another state, to another country. So it's just more like the parents' side of the story, because we left, but we never know, what what those parents have to deal with when their son or daughter leaves, and it's just like the appreciation that we should try to instill, just to our parents, and to that so much love that they kind of give us. So we have just to kind of give back a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, so definitely
It was very nice.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I know that some people are going to be, have issues with it, like towards the end of what happens. But you'll just have to see it. But I thought it was a good representation.
Yeah, yeah. Those short films actually are very good too.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed most of the short films.
Because I'm sure we have watched more.
Yeah.
Not
Moana
only
had one. They're all of them.
but only Pixar do those.
Yeah.
Does those really? More. I think it's a great platform to kind of put over like directors out there. You don't have to be the director of Incredibles 2 to be a director, but stories happen everywhere.
Yeah. The only one I think I did not enjoy as much was the Coco one. That was
I don't remember.
It was Frozen. It was a Frozen Christmas.
No.
Thing,
Yeah,
remember?
Frozen is a little overrated. We are sorry. I know there are so many kids that like it, but we need a break from Frozen. Honestly,
Yeah.
I can't deal with that one anymore.
Well, they're coming out. I'm pretty sure. I think they're coming out with number 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought the movie was like three parts already.
No.
I thought every girl like.
No, I mean there are like other films that are not in the theaters that are off of it, but it's not like an actual movie in the theaters.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Here it goes. My niece loves Frozen. Sorry,
all the Frozen.
I know.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So go watch the movie if you enjoy Pixar movies. You won't be disappointed. And I thought it was a little bit fun. So
what's the name of the director?
Of what?
Of this, I think it's a girl. It's a woman. I'm
let's
sorry.
see. It was a Chinese director.
I think we have to give her, some credentials there because.
Yes, her name was Domi Shi, 28 years old, and she did amazing. She did amazingly well. Definitely clap for that. Yay! So on to the next topic.
Moving on down the list
to 4th of July. 4th of July. So we decided to go to see the Macy's 4th of July fireworks.
Dun, dun, dun.
And this time was a little bit different because the previous years we went on the Brooklyn side. So we saw it on the Brooklyn side. And this year we wanted to go see it on the Manhattan side to see if there are any differences, all of those things. I made a small mistake in the previous podcast. It was actually East River, not the Hudson River. So most of the times they do it on the East River. So we went to 42nd, and it was it 42nd or 34th? 34th and FDR Drive, which is on the bridge that we can oversee, where they're shooting all the fireworks on, I think it was 7 different barges, so boats that are shooting off the fireworks. And it was amazing. What do you think?
I think
getting there.
Okay, so regarding the logistics part, it was, let me see. So we took a train, as he said, to go to 33, and after that we walked. It wasn't that hot. Actually, it
wasn't. That was like the best part.
I think it was like 75 or something.
Yeah, around 75, 80 degrees.
Yeah,
and very windy.
Yeah, it was just like great.
And cloudy too.
Yeah, cloudy. We make sure we use sunscreen, of course. Mm-hmm. Lesson learned. And after that, we stay. We were like, how do you say, like, they put like barricades.
Yep.
And we stay contained. I don't know how to say this, but we stay contained along with other people, many people. And after like an hour or something, they actually opened the doors, and we were able to go to the bridge part.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people.
Yeah, they estimated around 2 million people
Yeah.
this year to watch the fireworks.
So there were a lot of people. We saw a lot of New York Police Department. I think I felt good. You know, a lot of we saw like paramedics and things like that too.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. Of course, when you have an event of this magnitude, you have to take all those precautions.
Yeah.
And it's good, you know, because these type of events are, you know, of course, everyone is just like are a good place to, you know, for the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
So after that, we continued walking, and yeah, and we were supposed to stand all the time, but luckily after we ended up just sitting because it was impossible to stay standing for 4 hours. However, we did see some people that refused to sit. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't want their shorts to get dirty or something.
Actually, so to give a little thing, when we were there, and we were waiting for about 3.5 hours, I think. And so the police were saying, they cut off into us into different sections. So the police were saying, stand up. Like for every 5 minutes, they were saying, stand up, because people wanted to sit down. But they were telling us to stand up because they wanted to put in as many people in that section as possible. So that's why they were like, stand up. And so it's just kind of funny. They had to do it every 5 minutes. Because once the police walked away, everyone would sit back down, and then they would have to do it all over again.
I would be sitting all the time. You
Yeah.
know, if I have a chance to sit, why not? I'm not just trying to compete with my neighbors.
Yeah.
Sitting there, I just want to sit.
Yeah, so after they filled the section, then we all could sit down, and she always wanted me to sit, and I'm just like, I just want to stand. It was, you know, I just want to stand, but she wanted
likes
to
to
sit.
stand for some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, just because I like standing. I don't like to sit all the time.
For me, if I have the chance to sit, why not? So anyways, we actually stay near the barricade, so, you know, just my thought is always like, in case of an emergency, we're all, you know, I always like to, you know, make sure that we are covered. I think if it were for you, you will be like right in front of that, but I like to be like near the exit.
Yeah. It was also, I think it was much more organized than the Brooklyn side.
Yeah,
the Brooklyn
absolutely.
side, it was just like all just
mess.
Like a mess. So like especially when we leave, it's like a total mess.
Yeah.
So the Manhattan side, I think it's a little bit easier to get out. But the fireworks, what do you think about the fireworks?
I mean, the fireworks were at 9:30.
Yeah, I think it was 9:30. Yeah. 9:20, 9:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think they were great. You know, it's a, you know, I think people here like fireworks a lot.
Yeah, we do.
You know, it's like a good try to representing, you know, all these like, you know, all of the like success and, you know, like the, I don't know, like maybe like a patriarchy, yeah. So it's a good way of say, hey, here, you know, we're celebrating that we are here.
Yeah.
You know, because I like to see, you know, beyond of just the fact that we went to see fireworks. Like,
Yeah.
You know, why do they do this type of things? You know, just they're signaling to people around the world, you know, that we are here. You know, that we have all these resources and people are able to celebrate. You know.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
What do you feel that fireworks represent?
Just a celebration.
Yeah,
You
kind
know,
of
it's a
celebration. I'm trying to see like the times when we used to use fireworks in my country, and it was like more celebration.
Yeah.
Too, for New Year's and things like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fireworks. It was cool. It was great to see everybody there. You know, people from everywhere. You know, a lot of tourists as well.
A lot.
Yeah, but it was just great to see everybody there enjoying, having fun, you know, loving to see fireworks and being together. I think that's the most important thing is being together as one and just enjoying it there. And, you know, there was no hating, there was no fighting. It was just being there, having fun, and with all the kids and everything as well.
Yeah, and I think as soon as you see the fireworks, you kind of forget about the 3 hours and a half that you stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting, that your legs hurt, that you haven't eaten, that you haven't been able to use the restroom.
Right.
That people have a step on you, because actually someone did a step on my pinky.
Yeah.
I forgave that person already.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a good experience to do it once in a lifetime,
Very, very enjoyable. And then once we left, too, it was pretty easy. It only took us like maybe 15 minutes to get out of the entire crowd.
Yeah.
So that's pretty easy. In that in that stance, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, it's nice.
I'm sure in other cities there were also fireworks.
Yeah.
I think those are the biggest ones.
Yeah, New York is the biggest one, it's the largest one, yeah.
But I'm sure in any other cities they did something similar.
Yeah.
So let us know how you guys feel about that.
Let us know how you celebrated the 4th of July.
Let us know via Twitter, like we're not kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Write, type what you guys think, and
Yep, I agree.
Alrighty.
So on to the next one. We went to go visit Coney Island, and that was a great experience. We've been there before, but we decided to go there at a time that is less hot, and we went there towards the nighttime, and just to see how it was. What'd you think?
I think we were until the 4th of July type of a spirit. It kind of lasted more than one day. We wanted like that long celebration, So we actually took it seriously, and we ended up going, as my friend said here, to Coney Island. For people that are not here, that don't live in New York City, it's an island in New York, in Brooklyn actually. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see exactly.
While she is researching.
Yeah.
So we went to Coney Island towards the evening, and we just it's very easy to get there from where we're at, and it's just cool that you can just go to the beach and just kind of enjoy. And it was a good amount of people, but we got to go sit by the beach and just hang out in the sand and the ocean. And it was just really nice. It was not that many people on the beach itself, which was really nice. And we got to sit on the actual where the lifeguard's supposed to sit because they were gone for the day. They're only there from 10 to 6 p.m. So after 6 p.m., they're all gone. So I don't know if you can actually sit on there, but we did. Everyone else did. And so we were just sitting there, and we got really good views of the boardwalk, of the ocean, and of the sunset as well. So it was really, really cool.
Yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, yes, this Coney Island is at the end of Brooklyn, near Shiphead Bay. We were there for a good 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was a good 4 hours. Yeah,
it was great. It was an unusual time, but sometimes when you do things out of the blue, you actually ended up having more fun than you would expect. We just started going, and we went. There are a lot of things to do there. There's an amusement park, like a little old-fashioned amusement park, but it has that vibe of traditional type of thing. There are a lot of lights at night. There's some eateries nearby. There's also bars if you wanna, intoxicate yourself.
There's New York Aquarium. So there's quite a bit.
Yeah, there are a lot of
things
stuff to do,
and especially
if you
at
want
nighttime.
if you want to exercise, you can do it on the boardwalk too.
Yeah, it opens up until 1 a.m. So you can be there all night long if you really wanted to.
And I think that's actually a good time to go. There, as he said, there wasn't as much sun, and not as many people as normal.
Right. Right, I agree. Yeah, and she kept saying it was beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. It's
No,
beautiful.
yeah, sometimes you forget just to be,
Yeah. Well,
and enjoy, and sometimes,
yeah.
it's just
Yeah, and at
a good reminder.
also at 9:30 every Friday, they have fireworks. So that was one of the reasons why we went, and it was more surprising. It was actually better than I thought. It was very surprising. I thought it was just going to be like this itty bitty shoot off maybe a couple of fireworks, but it lasted for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they did pretty good. But one thing we saw was so they're shooting it off the beach, and we saw this random little kid, probably 5 years old, run towards the fireworks while they were lighting it. Their parent had to just rush to get to the kid. Yeah, just rush. Sprint all the way to get the kid because the fireworks were about to launch, and luckily fortunately nothing happened to the kid because the dad got in time. So so after that we went to see the fireworks, and then they were doing karaoke on the boardwalk as well, and then they started turning on some music, and everyone just started dancing. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, karaoke turned into a club.
Yeah, basically a club.
Yeah. Under 18 club. As he said in the beginning, we were just singing. People were just singing random music, and all of a sudden we ended up dancing along the crowd. Songs such as, which one was the song that we were singing?
Despacito, and then there was, what else?
Which one is to the right? To the left.
Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah. Oh
and then Electric Slide. Yeah, and everybody was doing it around there. That was cool to see, little kids and older people as well, and younger people. It was cool. Everyone was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did it too.
Yeah, we did it too. It was actually pretty fun. Just dancing and having a little bit of fun there.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave after all. I was like, this is so fun.
Yeah, so it's a highly recommendation to go to Coney Island on Fridays. I think that's a great day to do. Enjoy a little bit of sun around 6 or 7 o'clock, and then stay there, and have fun during the nighttime. So on to the next topic, we wanted to do an update on sports because there was a lot of sports happening. So we want to touch on World Cup first. Very disappointing for both of our teams, Japan and Colombia. I'm done watching sport. I'm done watching the World Cup because both of the teams unfortunately lost. They both lost in a very dramatic way. And it was both very heartbreaking. I will be talking about Japan. She'll be talking about Colombia.
Who did Japan lost?
Japan lost against Belgium. So this was heartbreaking to me. Like I said, I was rooting for Japan to make it to the finals. And they were up 2-0 during the second half. And I was like, yes.
That's it.
I was like, this is it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then Belgium scored the last two, tying it 2-2. And then towards the end, they made the third goal, and it was 3-2, and Belgium beat Japan 3-2. It was so upsetting.
Comeback, I know.
Yeah, it was so upsetting. I was so mad. I'm done. I'm done watching the World Cup. You can talk about Colombia.
So Colombia lost versus England. They actually went 0-0 up to the second half, right?
I think so, yes.
And after that, they added 30 more minutes because when you are in these finals, you have to either lose or win. So, by the end of the game, they haven't scored any goals. So, as I said, they added 30 more minutes. And by the end of those 30 minutes, no one had a score either. So, when that happens, you have to go to penalties. So, each team has 5 opportunities to score. If you miss 3, that's it.
Okay.
So Colombia actually missed 2 penalties. So that's how England won. I was actually, I'm not actually disappointed of how Colombia played. I actually felt kind of grateful and proud because they did such a great job. England is a very strong team, and that actually already won against Sweden too. And I felt that they fought all the way to the end, and the way that they went 0-0 until the end shows that it wasn't lack of ability. They were like quite tight, but it was just a mistake of, it was like more type of a luck type of situation. So I feel proud, and they have a great welcoming back in Colombia, in Bogota, in our city. It's nice to see our people getting together, welcoming the big effort that the team did. So right now we don't have any South American countries as of finalists of the World Cup. All of them are actually from Europe. France is one of them, England, Belgium. We're not sure about Russia and Croatia, who finally won. But yeah, it's basically, it's going to be an European type of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm done watching World Cup. I don't really care about any of the other teams. I wish them the best of luck, but I'm done watching World Cup.
I'm not done, because I don't only follow my my team, but I like to just watch soccer. I like the game as well.
I think I'm more of the type of person is like, I root for a team to win. If they don't win, I'm done watching, because to me it's just like, why are you watching teams that you don't even really care for? I've watched a lot of basketball. I watch a lot of American football. So like I have certain teams I root for. I can't watch every single team. Otherwise, I'd be watching TV all day long. So I only root for specific teams. Once they're done, if they win, they win. If they lose, they lose, and I'm done watching them.
Yeah, so we just saw an update about Russia versus Croatia. They are tied right now, 1-1. So yeah, we're still gonna, we're still waiting whether it's Russia or Croatia. It would be great that, the host, Russia, moves. So we will see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Stay tuned for, the development of, the World Cup.
Yeah, not from me, but from Alexa.
From me.
Then the next update, which was a pretty big one.
Yeah, purely
because like I said,
Brussels.
because I watch basketball, was LeBron James deciding to go to the Lakers. I'm very torn about this because I actually don't like LeBron James. A lot of people can call me a LBJ hater. That's totally fine. I can take the heat. I've never really liked him, even from the very beginning. I think when he started calling himself King James, it was just like, why are you, giving yourself this title when someone else should? So that's why I kind of didn't really like him from the very beginning. I do respect him in regards to how he plays. I think he is the best basketball player in the world right now. I think he's an amazing talent. I think he's great. So I give him that much props. But I love the Lakers. I'm a huge Lakers fan. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. And that's kind of like a predicament too, because I'm actually from Portland. And Portland and the Lakers have a very heated rivalry. Mm-hmm. Portland and LA do not like each other.
Oh, really?
Like going all the way back to the early 2000s.
But it's only basketball related, or just
basketball, because we only have and Portland only has professional basketball. So so it's the Portland Trail Blazers versus the LA Lakers. But I don't really care. I like the Portland Trail Blazers. I root for them, but at the same time, I know that they're not going to go very far. I just know that every year, it's just I don't want to continue getting disappointed. So the Lakers, I root for the Lakers also. I think the Lakers are awesome, and I root for Kobe Bryant as well. So LeBron James coming to the Lakers, I have very mixed feelings about it. I don't know if I should root for the Lakers now. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. I don't know.
But it's your team. Like that
I know.
A player doesn't really make a team.
I know, but it's just
a lot of people behind that.
I have mixed feelings. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. But I think it's cool. I think that, I know LeBron has houses in L.A. I know that he wants his sons to go to L.A. schools. So I'm happy for him in that regard. But other than that, I don't know. We'll see.
I honestly wouldn't rely my love towards the team on one player or whether who comes or not. I think a team is stronger than that.
Yeah, but there are people that just root for specific players. There are a lot of LeBron
different.
players.
That's different. But you say you're a Lakers fan, so
I'm a Lakers fan.
It shouldn't turn you off. Of course,
But I don't really like LeBron.
Okay.
So and it's just kind of like.
I see.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Fair.
But like I said, I hope for the best for him. I think the West is going to be pretty. It's going to be very, very competitive next year. The East, I don't know. The East is so weak. Whatever team the West is going to come in, they're going to beat the East. There's nothing going to happen. Like I said, I live in New York right now.
Go East.
No, I live in New York right now, and the Knicks. You have to be honest about yourselves. They suck. They're horrible.
I like the Knicks, though.
They're horrible. The Nets, horrible.
Well,
both of those
Jeremy
teams are
Lin
horrible.
Is in the Nets right now.
He's injured, horrible. It doesn't really matter. Both of those teams are horrible. They haven't been relevant for forever. All the good teams are in the West. I'm sorry, East. I don't know. Boston, cool.
What's the name of the Boston team?
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, Boston is cool. They're not going to win anything.
Shout out to Boston, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Hey.
So they're not going to win anything. They have a good team, but they don't have, they're not going to have a great team to upset the Golden State Warriors. That's just not going to happen. So, so that's kind of the makeup of what's happening right now in the NBA. So let me know if you all are excited for LeBron to move to LA. Let me know if you're a Lakers fan, all that stuff. So moving on, since this is quite long.
Yeah, since we went a little over than expected, we just wanted...
We're going to cover stories at a glance.
Yes.
So stories at a glance, we kind of wanted to update everybody on what's happening about the rescue in Thailand and what's happening there right now as well. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
I'm sure everyone else have heard of what's going on with, the soccer team of children that is like in a cabin type of situation. They fell there, by accident. They are with their soccer coach as well. They have been there already. They have been there for 2 weeks already, and they actually weren't found after 10 days. After 10 days of them being there. Yeah. So, I think this is just. We just wanted to bring this up to all of you because I know this is, you may be in your house and just thinking about what are you going to eat today for dinner when there's people out there that are, going through all of that. So I think it's important to keep things in perspective always. And honestly, I don't know how those kids are... how are they still alive? I think if I were in the same circumstance, what would I do?
Right.
Because I'm really scared of, many things. So these kids are doing a great job. So
yeah, they're all very brave. We hope that this rescue will be here very soon.
Yeah. Now, I was actually researching today if there was any similarity to what happened back in 2010 in Chile, when some miners were in a mine, a gold mine, and they were stuck there for 69 days.
Right.
So these kids had been for 2 weeks. That's 14 days.
Yeah.
So I thought there was any type of similarity, because I thought, well, if the Chilean government did something like this, why don't they implement the same thing in Thailand?
Right.
But now that we were doing some research, we found that there were not as many similarities because those miners were trained to be underground. That's what they spend most of the days doing. However, with these kids, it's a different story, especially for the rain that's going to happen in Thailand very soon.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part, is because a lot of the water, and it was very, that's why it's so hard for them to get to get the kids out because of the water and the rain, and it's just like causing
And there's
havoc.
there's not enough oxygen for them to breathe. And from what we heard, is that one of the people that was trying to rescue them actually died because for lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good opportunity for the international community to come together and try to help as much as they can. I don't know if there's any ways for us to actually help, because you feel so helpless, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they are getting the help.
Yeah.
That they need soon. And
yeah, I think they're getting food, and they got the letters too.
Yeah,
they're saying that the kids are in good spirits at least.
I know. I don't know how they
really
do
good.
it.
Yeah,
I think these kids are heroes. Sometimes we try to look, of course, as we said about the Incredibles and all that stuff, and it's easy to think as heroes that they're just in movies, but these people are heroes of just staying alive. I don't know if I were, if I could do the same. So it's hooray for them or being alive and you keeping it strong. And we really, really hope that they are rescued soon.
Yeah.
So the last thing for today, I know we have been talking a lot, but it
was a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, there was definitely a lot of things that we did.
So we just want to end there in the gratitude challenge, as always. So the challenge for today is write a short message of thanks for some of the negative things in your life. Write a short message of thanks for something negative things in your life.
You want to go first? I'm not exactly sure what that means.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
But because we're always thankful for good things, but how about for the bad things? Because those help you to strive to be better.
Write a positive thing about the negative things that happen?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Like, for example, I don't know. Like, for example, for me, the fact that I'm not close to my family, that can be seen as bad, but, from my point of view, that makes me appreciate them more. That makes me strive to, keep better relationships with them, even if it's over the phone or FaceTime or whatever. I really, I really value them and, cherish their love and, highlight how great humans they are.
Yeah. So that's yours?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
It's not a message. It's not, just like, just discuss.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Negative thing. So all the negative things that we hear in the news, which is quite negative, puts into perspective of what is happening in the world. The positive thing is that we can reflect on all of these negative things and move forward and try to improve them. So we have to start somewhere, right? So we now know these things are negative. There are a lot of things negative in this world and a lot of things that people are angry about. Mm-hmm. But it's a good thing that it is being brought up and it's being shown out into this world. And how can we resolve that? How can we fix that? How can we go out and be like, hey, we don't like all these negative things. We need to go out there and actually do it and make these negative things go away. So now we have the power in our hands to be like, hey, we don't like these negative things. We're going to help improve it. So I know that's kind of vague. I know that's kind of broad.
No, I think that's good.
But, that's kind of the things that I'm thinking about right now. Mm-hmm. What I can do.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, for sure. So now we kind of want to end this podcast. We hope that you all learned something and hoping you enjoyed it as well. And, we're we're always glad that, to make these, and, you can listen to it while you're, cooking dinner, or,
while
out
you
driving
clean,
or something.
while you take the trash out.
Yeah, all of those things.
While you exercise.
Exactly.
While you're in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And many other things that you may be doing while listening. That's called multitasking.
Yeah, multitask. Do that. Do that correctly.
So yeah, stay happy and healthy.
Yep.
We shall see you in the next.
Yep, on to the next one.
Bye.
Bye.